Yo, okay, I wanted to make a quick video because first of all, the market is like really down right now. So I wanted to um go over like what I'm anticipating happening next in the market, if I think we're going to recover, if we're going lower from here. We'll talk individual stocks, and then also, as you can tell by the title, sorry, I'm a little sick. As you can tell from the title of this video, I had a crazy trading week. Um, Went from down $10,000 to making $12,000 today, and making back all of my losses, um, to end the week net positive, but barely. So I'm gonna go over today's trade first, and then I over risked on it, but I was super confident. Um, and then I'm gonna go over the last two losing trades as well. So, whoops. We can start with today's trade. I took it on ES. I still need to journal today's trade too. I took it on ES, but I should have probably taken on Nasdaq because of an SMT. We had a high time frame hourly SMT, so Nasdaq came and swept this hourly low, and ES did not. So yeah, you can see right here we had that hourly SMT. Um, with ES as the leading index. So I did want to take the trade on ES originally, but you'll see later we saw a 1 minute SMT, and that is what should have led me to take the trade on Nasdaq. But also I cleared these drawings, so let's remark these out. But I had all of this low resistance liquidity, so a lot of equal, like near equal highs. So I was targeting those, and then I think we had one draw on hourly, yeah. So we did, right when market opened, we ripped up, which makes sense because we're so low this whole entire week. It kind of makes sense that buyers would step in on Friday, and we saw a little bit of an update today. Um, but anyway, so I have marked out for equilibrium. We obviously didn't hit it, but once we were kind of shooting up, I did want to see just a 5 minute retrace into any 5 minute confluence. So we had this fair value gap, we had this fair value gap, and again I was looking for the trade on ES, so again didn't hit equilibrium. So ES came and filled this 5 minute fair value gap, and I waited until then. Oh shoot, it looks like I didn't wait till then, but oh yeah, okay, sorry, I did not wait until then, but I waited for the 5 minute retrace. So when we first had that first 5 minute retrace right here at 10, I did scale down. I looked for a 1 minute entry, but I kept my stops. That's why I had the equilibrium too. I kept my stops below equilibrium and below that fair value gap. I think this is when I had adjusted. So originally I had my stops, like I think they were here underneath this 1 minute low to give me a little bit of breathing room underneath equilibrium. Then I moved my stops up underneath this fair value gap. Yeah, and then I mean I could have moved it up to here, but I just never ended up adjusting after. So we had that 5 minute retrace. I scaled down. We immediately saw 1 minute break of structure. But I'm not gonna lie, I was gonna enter there, but Nasdaq was so close to its draw. Oh shoot, where is it? Nasdaq was already so close to its draw that I didn't want to enter right there. Um, it was so close to the dude. I need to mark out. Hold up, because I'm getting lost in the sauce right now. Um, it was already so close to this hourly draw that I didn't really want to uh, enter, and it also didn't break 5 minute structure. Hold up, I need to do this somewhere on there so I can remember, find my place easily. Oops. But yeah, so I didn't want to. I actually didn't want to enter yet there because first of all it was so big and my stop loss would have been huge, and I didn't like the fact that we hadn't filled that 5 minute fair value gap. So um I actually waited, and I thankfully did because oh dude, because we had a huge retrace after that 1 minute retrace. And to add on top of that, another reason why I just didn't enter was because I was fiddling with trying to enter on my phone and I didn't have service. So actually, that's another thing about this trade. I screen recorded the whole thing on my phone, but um, I was waiting. I needed service to enter this trade, and thankfully, I didn't have service at this point. And so we saw this huge drop. But then when I saw buying pressure coming out of it, I did enter, and that's when I just like went. I just went long, kind of with no confluence, but at the same time, a lot of bullish confirmation. And then also, I just was so confident in these draws. I really wanted to see. The main reason why I had these draws in liquidity was because of how many stacked 5 minute and 15 minute highs we had up here. Like these are high draws in liquidity. As you can see, I didn't. Oh, yeah, I did close early. I didn't end up holding until then because NASDAQ took out those highs before ES, but I took them out as soon as NASDAQ took full position as soon as NASDAQ closed. Anyway, so yeah, we entered long, targeting hourly liquidity, and then those 5 minutes. I closed at 10:48, which should be exactly when NASDAQ took out these hourly highs right here. Yep, 10:48. So that is when I took full profit, which was when NASDAQ took out all this like low resistance liquidity, but stacked liquidity. So that got me my $12,000 win on today alone. Let's talk about the other trades, which I'm going to pull up, which was causing me to be down 10K on the week. Honestly, I could just review. So this trade was Thursday. Thursday's trade was a little bit confusing. I'll stay on NQ because I took it on NQ. I guess I can mark it out real quick, but basically we had a 5 minute break of structure. So I wanted to see the only hourly draw was like an hourly draw from way across. Yeah. So we had like all of these hourly draws. I think we swept that one before. So we had a bunch of hourly draws, but I wanted to take longs because we broke 5 minute structure. Hold up. I'm obviously marking out the wrong draws. There's like low-key, there was low-key like no draws to the downside. That's why I wanted longs too. Okay, yeah. So I was looking for longs because there was like no draws in liquidity to the downside except for that unfilled weekly gap. And so when we broke structure to the upside, I thought for sure we were going long. And I actually don't think I waited for a 5 minute continuation like after we broke structure, because I considered us filling 5 minute equilibrium right here and breaking structure upside enough confluence. But technically I should wait for a 5 minute retrace before I look for a reason to enter along. Well, I didn't. Instead, I entered long off of a break of structure and not even a 1 minute continuation. I entered long right there. I'm looking at my journal. Again, I had drawn out high time frame equilibrium too, and I was like, this doesn't look that bad. I put my stops down here, really safe stop. But yeah, as you can see, I mean, we just completely tanked as soon as I got in the position. So $5,000 loss right there. Then on Wednesday, another $5,000 loss, but it was completely my fault. The closest draw in liquidity, again, the closest draw in liquidity for yesterday was a little bit confusing because we are kind of in the middle of this range. Actually, we might be like in perfect middle. Okay, so yeah, we're actually closer technically to these draws up here, and we had broken 5 minute structure. I personally don't think it was that bad of a trade, but I mean, it was a losing trade. And if you're wondering if there was a 5 minute SMT up here, nope. It just literally like broke 5 minute structure to the upside, and then I should have waited for a 5 minute retrace, and I didn't. I just entered, didn't follow my rules to be honest. But I don't think it was that bad of a trade. Um, then Wednesday, I'm not gonna go mark it out but um, it's just gonna take a lot of time. But let me pull up my journal. Yeah, we had swept high time frame liquidity, so I wanted a reversal. I just straight up didn't wait for bullish confirmation. In my journal, I said both indexes had a high time frame liquidity sweep, created high time frame bullish SMT, ES being leading index, looked for 5 minute break structure on ES and NQ. We inversed the lowest bearish fair value gap on NQ, but failed to inverse on ES. Despite this, I scaled down to 1 minute, convincing myself that NQ was enough. NQ inversing was enough, even though we still had a second 5 minute fair value gap on top of NQ that was also not inversed. So I entered off a 1 minute break of structure on ES because it was the leading index and ultimately closer to highs. And yeah, I blew it. $5,000 loss on the day. Similar day to this. Except for even worse, I didn't even wait for 5 minute break of structure fully. And again, $5,000 loss. So I went into today $10,000, negative $10,000, and I made 12,200. I can look at the exact number, but it was like 12,200 and something today. Absolutely insane. 12,356 actually. So, yeah. Barely profit, to be honest. So, not a good day. Over risked, over leveraged, but not a good week. But I ended up recovering, and I wouldn't say that's all that matters, but it definitely felt good. It feels good going into the weekend. Now let's talk about the market as a whole. So let's go to a higher time frame, and let's discuss kind of what we can expect while being this low. Okay, hold up, sorry. Okay, so we did sweep one daily low. I don't like these two daily draws, and I also, same on NQ, obviously. I also like, if we do go and sweep these, here's my thing. Do I want us to go lower? Not really. On crypto, yes. On stocks, not really. We do have an overall downtrend right now that it looks like we're kind of rotating to the downside. If that is the case, I think I would want to see at least these lows get swept before moving higher, because I just don't think that this one low is enough. With that being said, if we do come down and sweep these lows, at that point, I feel like if we get these lows, what's stopping us from going and getting these near equal lows, right? And then if we get those near equal lows, what's stopping us from grabbing these near equal lows? And on top of that, being able to test all-time highs over here. So like we have these all-time highs, and then these near equal lows, uh, and then, that is, now again, that being said, that is if we take these lows. So I guess what I'm saying is, geez, I just made a mess. What I'm saying is, because we have these all-time highs over here, and we could come and retest these all-time highs, right? We could come retest this. What I'm saying is, let's say that we reverse from here, right? And we start heading back up. We have these highs and these highs. That's not a lot of draws on liquidity, right? The more attractive draws on liquidity are still to the downside. So being Friday, it makes sense that we kind of bought back up a little bit and took some relief off of these high, like the pumping stocks right now. I will get into these individuals. But for me, like, I just now at these lows am in position to buy, right? I'm just now willing to dollar cost average these high tech companies, are these tech companies that are, booming right now. Just now. Because if we look at my draws for these companies, hold up. For Tesla, I didn't even buy more of Tesla, but the markings that I had where I would have was this daily for value gap, and then these low resistance liquidity, like I was just anticipating them getting swept. I would have thought maybe DCA here, and then definitely dollar cost average there. Now I didn't buy any more of Tesla. I think I'd be more willing to buy Tesla in this range. At kind of the highs, be willing to dollar cost average more. So I would say maybe, I need to turn my magnet back on. I would say maybe here, right, these highs, and kind of these highs. If we come back and retest those, I'd be willing to enter there. But dollar cost average for Tesla, Palantir, right? We swept all of these low resistance liquidity. Again, great buying opportunities, right? That's down like 15% from all-time highs, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, 20%, even better. So it makes sense that we see some buybacks right now. But I don't think that we're going to shift straight back up to a bull market, to be honest. I think we have these low resistance draws that we could come and get. Nvidia, it hasn't even hit my draws yet. Let's see, MicroStrategy. This is rough. This is really rough. Because I think that I really thought that these were the lowest we would go, but now we're sub 200, and to me, I can't imagine we'd want to go all the way down to $100. The world that I imagine that happening in for MicroStrategy is if Bitcoin goes down to, say, $70,000. And I might as well pull up Bitcoin now. Yeah, I mean, after this, after where we are right now, the next place that I would want a dollar cost average is here. And then after that, 73K, 70K. This would be equilibrium, 70K. Yeah. I don't know. I would say here, I bought more Bitcoin right here, on 96,000. Looking for, I think I would dollar cost more at 82, 85K. If we go all the way down to 70K, bro, I mean, I'm buying so much Bitcoin, it's not even a joke. Um, but like I said, if that were to happen, MicroStrategy could take out these lows. But that would be a dip and a half, bro. So, we'll see. Microsoft hit my draws. Right? A lot of these tech companies have hit my draws. Meta, I mean, I'm buying Meta. Filled in my draws. Bought a bunch here. Not really looking at Intel. Hood, filled maybe a couple of orders, but I just honestly no real technical analysis there. Just kind of, it's low. Google, I'd want to see 264. Fill that for value gap. Coinbase, loaded up. AMD, this is applied, my bad. AMD, I'd want to see lower, at least equilibrium, probably fill this gap. Dude, PayPal looks rough. I trimmed my position on PayPal. I had a long-term vision on PayPal, but I'm struggling to see it now. Great exit on Root, by the way. Right here. That was a while ago, though. Fair. Oh my gosh, dude. Grab doesn't even look that great. Apple. Like, so, again, my main draws on liquidity have gotten hit, but I could totally see us going lower because big tech companies could get all these low resistance draws before moving higher. Nvidia could come sweep these equal lows down here before moving higher. Microsoft already kind of did, but it could probably chop in this range, move higher. Robinhood needs to go lower probably. I could see it at least going down to 108. If it doesn't, then if it goes lower, dip below 100. I don't think it will, but it could. Google, honestly, man, I don't really see Google going much lower than 265, 264's range. But if it did come all the way down here, man, that would be a steal. AMD, again, equilibrium at least. So a lot of these tech companies, although they have hit my draws in liquidity, I think they could go lower. And looking at the S&P 500 with that, I think it makes sense if we go a little bit lower. Again, potential play of events, we go like this and recover. Most likely come down. If we sweep these lows, we could see a reversal, but realistically, if we sweep these lows, I'm expecting us to say, well, if we hit those draws, we may as well hit these ones. And if we hit these ones, we sure as hell may as well come and sweep these ones. And if we sweep those ones, we may as well test all-time highs, which would mean in this kind of range right here, it makes sense. It really does. So with that being said, I would say kind of this area, this sort of thing is probably where we're headed. If not now, soon. Honestly, personally, my dream would be stocks kind of pump a little bit more. Do I think this is going to happen? No. I think we're going to continue lower. But my dream scenario would be this bottoms, stocks pump just a little bit, maybe, I don't know, a little bit higher. Then we sweep, take out low, 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 arguably a bear market low, lows, all the way down, retest all-time highs, retest 2026. That's my prediction. Right? I mean, look at us, bro. this is just money down here, right? And then we sweep, and this is 2026. Boom. My prediction. Right here. Sorry. This is my prediction. So, oh, sorry. Well, this is my ideal prediction. This is my actual prediction is no, this is that this is our top and we're going down. That's my prediction right there. So, the prediction is we come down, sweep all this low resistance liquidity, retest all-time highs, and then 2026 is bull market, skyrocket, everyone gets rich, and I mean, then for crypto, I mean, it's gonna follow, but again, I think this is a great buying opportunity, huge buying opportunity. Personally, I'm buying. I don't care how low crypto goes. I want crypto lower. I don't care. I just want to buy more. So, cheaper the better for me. But again, looking at 2026 is coming up. This is what I'm looking for. And I think I think this actually could play out. So, again, if we do come down here, also Long John Silver, bro. Fucking Long John Silver. So, that's my game plan. You know, I think looks realistic. We kind of top here. Maybe we have next week pot green. Think that makes sense too. A green candle next week would make a lot of sense. Then we rotate lower, sweep all this. 2026 bull market, man. Like B run, bro. B run. Long John Silver all the way to Mars and back. That's my prediction. Okay. Apparently I just hit something. So, all right. Well, that's all for me. Over wrist today. But yeah, sorry, long video, but I hope this helped. I hope that this helps someone get a game plan if anyone's watching this, and we can expect what's going on coming into 2026. Hopefully we finish out the year strong. I need to pay off my credit card bill, so we need another good week of trading next week. So, peace. Thank you guys.